Yes, good morning. Good to be here with you again. Friday morning, the 11th of December 2020. And another, I've been counting down to Christmas, 14 days to Christmas. So for those who are joining me on that journey, you see my Christmas tree tells me every morning that Christmas is coming very, very soon. And obviously, people like me who expect a lot of gifts, don't worry. I have enough favors, I have enough room to receive your gifts. So please start sending your gifts down to MITV. Simply ask for Tony Ojo, that's my name, and they'll definitely deliver my gift. Should I give you a list? Christmas time, there's usually a list, and I'm sure. When I tell you what I want from Dr. Precious this morning, I'm sure it will be compelled to do it because we don't have a choice. We actually promise not my TV.
I hope at the end of the day you mention everything you have to subscribe.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tony.
How are you doing? I'm good.
Fantastic. Good to have you. And good morning to our viewers this morning.
Yeah, good morning to you too.
It's a beautiful day.
You know what I want for Christmas?
What do you want?
I want a new phone.
Santa Claus is going to be there.
No, I want an iPhone.
You want an iPhone? Could you be specific? Because
I want an iPhone 11.
just 11.
11S, 11.
No, there's no 11.
Okay, I want 11 Max. Okay, I want 11 Max. I know somebody that has it. And I know the person I'm giving for Christmas.
Okay.
I don't need to read it.
I think you can just have it.
Okay. I hope you're not going to ask.
No, Thomas,
I hope you're not going to ask me after the show.
Give us.
After the program, if you come ask me for this phone, you're going to have issues.
Thomas, you know what? Give us never lie.
Really?
Yes. And this is what we use to help the society. As a father figure in the society, this is
Mr.
what we use.
You know what? It's so good to always have reasons to laugh. If you find yourself in a gloomy mood and you just need something to brighten up your day, I tell you, Bumper Breakfast, we have something for you every day of the week, Mondays to Fridays. And I can assure you, one of these days, we're going to bring Mr. Macaroni himself to come sit opposite Dr. Precious so I can have some good laugh. Because apparently, as a father figure in the society, he just touched me and iPhone 11.
And actually,
but I will tell you right after the program, maybe by Monday, that I don't have the phone. Because I know some people that will collect the back.
In fact, you made me verse. What's your account number? Give me your account number.
Please, that one will not be able to, you won't be able to prove it on national TV.
No. You
Really?
get the alert right now. Just give me your account number.
07
Okay.
371
Okay.
896
Okay.
49
What bank?
GT Bank.
I just sent you 1 million naira. I just sent you 1 million naira.
That's exactly what Mr. Macaroni would say. I didn't get an alert. There's nothing like that.
No, it's your bank. It's your bank.
It's my bank.
I will be debited spiritually. I will be debited.
Well, we just like to have fun with you. You see, the point is this. You really have to find reasons to laugh in the midst of all of the news happening around. You have to have reasons, find it, be intentional about searching for things that will make you laugh. I tell you, you won't regret it. You definitely will not regret it. But of course, before I go into the stories on the front page of the papers this morning, I've had a good laugh, and I'm sure that you also will enjoy that good laugh with me, because we're going to some gloomy stories, and I need to change my face. I'm going to make it a very serious face. I'm just toughen up a little. The first story here tells us how the NLC talks about the states in Nigeria that contribute to more than 6 states in the Federation fully implements the 30,000 naira minimum wage. Only a few of them contributes to the pension fund, yet they want to borrow from the pension fund. So the Punch newspaper simply tells you, state's cash crunch worsens, NLC opposes borrowing pension funds. Labour vows to mobilize workers against planned borrowing of 17 trillion naira from the pension funds. State governments took loans to pay local government workers November salary. That's coming from Kwara State Government. With only 6 workers fully implementing the 30,000 naira minimum wage, local government workers, teachers rushed to it. Now, court adjourns sitting as Mina slums and son arrested. Mina slum too.
Yeah, over the 2 billion naira.
Professor Kemi, no, Professor Kemi, come on.
Okay.
One day. Of the NDDC.
Yeah, he's been stabbed.
He did not slump him. You remember?
That was very nice.
No, he fainted like this. The drama went like this.
That was not even the catchy point for me. The point for me was when they were trying to open his mouth, as if it was convulsive.
Because he's shaking. I didn't get it. So how conveniently had the machine decided to
just me slump.
No, if slumped the moment is law stood up to talk about him submitting a suit. He was about to make a statement. And the guy just fainted.
But let's be honest, you see, you get to a point where your heart is so heavy in cases like this, and you can't help but to get into your acting skills. Because the truth of the matter is this: whether you like it or not, whether you like it or not, this is the point of the person.
When you get to the place of reckoning, you suddenly remember God your Father.
Very true.
Court adjourns sitting as Maina slums and his son has been arrested, but the shocking part for me, the son is just
you see some very young boys doing some kind of things that you just want. And that's why I tell people, you never judge your pace in life with someone else's pace.
Because you didn't have it. Nigeria's debt getting out of control, says Erifai. This governor is my governor of the year. Anytime, anywhere. Okay. I may have some small issues with that statement, because I think that I also love Professor Zumi of Born State, and I love my governor. I like to say I also love my governor. It's not good. I also love my governor.
How many governors?
Ogasho State, Ondo State, Lagos State, Kaduna State.
Tell me, what shocks me? What scares me about you is you love so many governors and none of them has ever given you a palliative.
It doesn't matter to me. I just love them because they do not disappoint me so many times.
Until the day I come here and see a car from one of the governors parked in your room, I'm not going to take sides with you.
Anyway, Governor Nasir verified out of scripture. Governor Nasir verified gender balance, gender equality, gender opportunity. Governor Nasir verified COVID-19 lockdown likely to come, second phase. He even made it compulsory. Every staff of the state government has to take the test. Compulsory. Governor Nasir verified. When we're talking about Amadi Youth Fair, he doesn't want that. Arrest the parents of the Nasir. And now the guy said, let us not complain. Borrowing has become a problem.
You know why I said sometimes I don't eat, sometimes I don't.
And then Governor Surify, my best man, when it comes to loving Muhammadu Sanusi, the deported me on
Yeah, I remember. But when it comes to religious issues,
it's leaving me. Nigeria is not a religious country.
yes, I understand.
Personal
But when you
beliefs.
take a stand that affects your brother, you need to think about it.
But really, we won't have that. And then when the day happens to that,
You just gave that statistic.
soldiers killed protesters demanding Akuri's removal. Residents. Hoodlums buggle in the assembly still maze as to spend 1,500 days on strike in 21 years. Herbalists, 20, arrested for ignorant strike. Oil price rises above $50, highest in 9 months. Minister Buratai, others go into isolation as the GOC died. The GOC of River State actually died just yesterday. Coincidentally, they were all at the Army, week. There is the program that is going on right now. The conference is going on, but it's been called off. It's been called off abruptly. It's been cancelled. It's no longer going on. And the minister and Chief of Army Staff, others have gone into isolation because the GOC did die of COVID-19. 4 Nigerians will reach 100 million by 2022. That's the broad man talking. The old Buhari to his promise and before. Those are stories on the front page of the Punch newspaper.
On the Nigerian Tribune this morning, rioting for haircut as police kills motorcyclists over 100 million. On the 5-point there, COVID-19 hits Army, GOC dies. Conference cancelled, participants directed to self-isolate. Buratai bars officers from attending Sunday. El-Rufai directs civil servants to compulsory COVID-19 tests. They imposed an isolation centers geared for full work as Nigeria records 2,709 cases in 6 days. 16 killed on Abuja Kaduna Highway. Kanduje press gunmen. World Bank says 20 million more Nigerians may fall into poverty and withholds the $1.5 billion loan until further evaluation. Hoodlums attack Ogun Assembly and steals the news.
Very, very, very annoying. Very sad.
Alleged Alleged 2 billion naira fraud minor collapse in court. EFCC confirms the arrest of his son. Buhari knocks no show, sign no one is in charge. From the Vice President, how to curb corruption at Seaport. Exorbitant airfares disconcerts tourism. Senate seeks government support for local airlines. Do you know how expensive it is to fly right now?
Don't tell me 120,000 naira to just go to Abuja.
It's so crazy. Do you remember the last time I was trying to fly to Benin and we couldn't get a flight? And we got at the dime time 69,000. Just one way. It's exorbitant. Don't temper
It's
with
even worse now. 75,000 naira one way to
Abuja. Don't temper with workers' pension. NLC wants the federal. So that's all on the Nigerian.
Okay, let me quickly run through the Nation newspaper. Reps, we are still expecting Buhari to appear before us. We hold the president by the integrity of his word. Appearance will be counterproductive. The majority, through the mandates of the constituents, moved the motion even against the position of the speaker. So, that was the position at the House of Representatives yesterday. COVID-19, PTF accuses religious bodies of sabotage. Second wave of pandemic here. Judge suspends sitting as Nina snobs. APC membership registration now next month. 2 lawyers held over 2018 MPA poll. World Bank vetoes $1.5 billion loan to Nigeria. And Labour rejects bid to borrow from 17 trillion naira pension fund. Army chief Erefi dies of COVID-19. Vaccine coming next month. 50,000 to benefit from 350 million Lagos Healthcare Fund. Federal government cuts data prices by 50%. Rubber steel Ogun, House of Assembly Maze, police with broken heart. Why were blacklisted Nigeria for religious freedom violation by the youths? Those are stories on the front page of the nation.
Of the Guardian this morning, Lagos Ibadan rail service in costly and friendly takeoff. NAS versus Buhari, Nigerian Constitution on trial. Lawyers insist. PDP can't decide on 2023 now. Secondus declared. Gunmen killed 16 businessmen in Ghana. Labour vows to resist borrowing from pension fund. You know, when I saw that, I was so shocked. That's to the point of going to borrow from the pension fund. So it's not even disbursed on the very sad. Hoodlums invade Ogun National Assembly and seize the mates. That's all on the bottom.
All right, that's it with the papers this morning. We take a quick break. When we return, Kenya Daga gives us the report from the business world.
The holidays, some drama, a smoky start, exciting moment. Of course, everyone is invited. Oh, festive season, what a time for the family. Turn up the way you want. Oops. All fun. And don't worry, the little surprises will make your day.
It's a special season for everyone, so whenever you're festive, it's your moment with DSTV. And this holiday season is about to be lit.
Yes, we're back here, and of course, the bumper breakfast continues with Kenya Daga's report from the business world this morning. Kenny, good morning.
Good morning, Toby. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How have you been? How has been the week?
Well, thank God. More so that operators in the market are already providing solutions to how our Nigerian capital market can be a source of promotion, a source of development, a source of alternative for government to develop infrastructures in the economy. And of course, they are saying that without the government looking back to the capital market to ensure that, or to look for the source fund where they can develop the infrastructure deficit in Nigeria, it may be extremely difficult for the Nigerian economy to bounce back even after the Central Bank of Nigeria said that by first quarter of January, by first quarter next year, 2021, the recession would have been over.
Okay.
We hope that the recession will be over, going by the optimistics of some participants in the market and some professionals who had looked and have said that recession will be over.
Okay.
But the operators in the market are saying that the restriction can only be over if government puts in place rules and regulations and they are willing and ready to support the market to grow the economy. And like one of the operators in the market is saying that there is a $100 trillion debt fund that is available that government can take advantage of. I'll brief to that later, but let's quickly look what the figures are saying in the market space. Investors traded 553.95 million shares valued at 6.64 billion naira, exchanged in 6,441 deals. Some trades in the market yesterday were that of GT Bank PLC, Dec Bank PLC, Transcorp PLC, and Regal Insurance PLC. On GT Bank, investors traded 7 million shares valued at 2.8 billion naira, exchanged in 304 deals at the market closing price of 82 naira 35 per share. Credit Bank with 5 million shares traded was 1.46 billion naira, done in 874 deals at the market closing price of 82 naira per share. Transcorp with 2.47 million shares worth 46.1 million naira, exchanged in 199 deals at the market closing price of 6 per share. Regal Insurance PLC with 46.61 million shares traded, 5 billion naira, done in 56 transactions at the market closing price of 21 per share. The lowest trading stock yesterday was that of Better Glass PLC, just 1 million traded, valued at 50 naira 20 kobo. This was done in one transaction at the market closing price of 55 naira 40 kobo per share. And gainers yesterday stood at 6 as against 40 losers. Gainers was led by Umar PLC with a price gain of 8 naira, closing at 88 naira. Lazarus Line went up by 10 kobo to close at 6 naira 70 kobo. Unilever PLC appreciated by 5 kobo to close at 18 naira 5 kobo. FDM Coco PLC was up by 3 kobo to close at 14 kobo. From the losers table, we have one put of it with a price position of 2 naira 55 kobo to close at.
Unfortunately, we missed Kenny's voice there. I'm expecting him to reach out to us again. Of course, what do you think, Precious? This data cost that has been reduced by 50%. Have you tried buying data?
Well, for me, it's still the same thing. Buying data almost every 3 days, and I experience the same symptom. So I feel the reduction has not been visible, because if you
We're going to do a practical because I want to buy this right now.
okay,
Let's find out exactly what will happen if we buy the same 1,000 naira, one data which is the cost of 1,000. Let's see what will happen and how much it will cost to actually have it right now. Good news, whenever these issues do come up, we always try to at least find out if the regulators are doing their job and if the people who are meant to implement are also doing their job. So, right, the minimum I have is 1.5 gig. That's the minimum I have, a 1.5 gig data, and the cost is 1,000. So,
that's what I'm saying. If it's been reduced, the cost should show when you pay for data. So like 1,000, you should have like 2 gig. You get it, and then you'll understand that
because 490 something naira, 87 naira is what the government brings to reduce it to 487 naira.
it has not been done.
You get it? And it was supposed to have been done since November, the end of November. And the Bible tells us on a daily basis, So if we're talking about 487 naira for 1 gig data now, just do the practical exam. It still costs 1,000 pounds for 1,000 naira for 1.5 gig. So really, what you should get probably should get a studio for 1,000 naira. It's even less than maybe 900,000. Apparently, we still need to work on implementation of some of these issues, especially when we take a look at, some of them. We need to work on implementation. It's been instructed, NCC has been instructed, which means it's been communicated with telecommunication companies with the way to implement it. So we actually need to implement it. All right, Kenny will be reaching out to us again, and of course, when Kenny does reach out to us, we get to talk more about business. But let's take a musical break. When we come back this time, it's all about hard conversations. And trust me, remember we started our conversation last week, joint bank account in the relationships. And I did promise we will come back here today, take the topic again, and of course open up the phone lines and have you contribute. So don't forget, the number to call will be right there on the screen, just as we begin the conversation. Yes, the conversation begins today with hard conversations, joint bank accounts and relationships. Now, this one was started last week, and I'm sure a lot of people had comments, they had their own reasons, they had positions about this topic. You get to talk to us today. Tweet at us at the Bumper Breakfast on Twitter. Send us messages on Facebook. We have a page, Bumper Breakfast. You can also post right underneath this video on Facebook and engage us on the conversation. It's actually streaming live at MITV NG, as MITV Nigeria on Facebook. So you get to stream and get there and put your comments right underneath so we can take your messages. But ultimately, to contribute live, send us a text message at 006-473-8133 or simply send a WhatsApp message to the same number 006-473-8133. And remember, just 5 minutes before we round up, we'll take some calls. What's your questions? Back to you. You know, last week when we were saying, must we have bank account, must we have a joint bank account? People were saying, okay, so you work here and there, you know. The continuation of last week.
Yeah, I think I'll start by talking about the benefits of joint account, which I started
last week. I think you had 3 last week. Let's run through quickly.
We just run through quickly the benefits of having a joint account. Number one, I said, sharing an account allows your spouse to have access to money at any point in time. Both parties can have access to money at their bank account. Why? Because they have a joint account. You can see what you have. Number two, if your bank provides it, each of you will have online access
to the same
account, so you can pay for utilities. I don't have to be the one paying. You can just go online and pay for utilities.
It could be any of us.
Shared financial tasks and do those things. Number three, some legal affairs are streamlined with joint account. You see, in a case whereby your spouse has passed on, you don't need the will to spend money.
You already have access to the account.
Yes. You just continue spending. You don't need to wait for the long arm of the law to give you legal rights to the money, because it takes time to access the money of your loved ones. But when it comes, you can just hit it like that. And number 4, which is the last benefit of having a joint account, is that there is smaller chances of encountering financial surprises. In those times where you have financial recklessness, you are mentally guided because you know Madam is going to see this. Just like I did right now. Sent you 1 million. If I was having a joint account, I can't send you 1 million.
You did not send me 1 million. I did not get the car.
You will get the alert. It's better you give me the glory now, because I can stop that transaction.
You can still stop a transaction that you were claiming to have done.
That's why I'm a father figure in the society.
What?
And you know,
When
these
did
are
you become
things
Mr.
we
Macaroni?
do. These are things we do to help the society.
Please, how much did you send me? 1
1
million kobo?
1 million kwacha. That's what we spend in Zambia.
That's what we spend in Zambia. Really? Are we in Zambia? Do I look like I love Zambia?
Let me tell you, our naira has been devalued. So to enhance your financial status, I take it to another currency. Somebody once said,
So when you don't have a bank account in that
someone once said, if you broke in Nigeria, you can take what you have and go to Uganda. You do or Tanzania.
you gave me love, yeah.
In Uganda, you can actually carry all you have with a Uganda. That much.
Wow.
So let's do it that way.
Okay. Please go on.
No, that's all on the benefits of having a joint account. But what are the disadvantages, or what are the reasons for having separate accounts? Why should we have separate accounts? Number one,
you think it's beneficial to also have
benefits of having separate bank accounts. Number one, having constantly to explain yourself is getting old. You got the example I was talking about last week, whereby you walk into a salon and then you cut your hair and they tell you it's 5,000 and you swipe. And madam is at home like, my husband cut his hair for 5,000.
That's a lie. It must be a unisex salon.
He must have done it for a lady. There's going to be problem. It will take God.
But before you go on, we're discussing, not yet the begging syndrome, we're discussing hard conversations, joint account in relationship, joint bank account in relationships. That's where the conversation is right now. So my director can correct at that. Yes, you were saying.
So number two, we're done with the first, which is having to explain yourself at every point in time. Number two, having separate bank accounts prove that you trust each other. You know, 40 to 50 years ago, having joint account was in vogue. Everyone wants to come together. But right now, to show you trust your partner, the best gift you can give your partner is financial independence. And I'm not saying you cannot do things together, but you can have a bank account whereby you can contribute funds and say, okay, let's put this money together for this purpose. We're putting this money together for a building. We're putting this money together for our holiday. We're putting this money together for the house rent. We can do that. But saying we're having just one source and we pull all our funds, it all comes to one place and we have just one joint account, it's not really helpful. The trust is not there. If you trust the person, you allow her to run her account while you run your account.
No, but really, what does trust have to do with I earn money and then I have to talk to you about what is going on?
You see, that's why I said it's a traditional mentality.
Okay.
Traditionalists would say joint account is what promotes unity in the home. That's what they say.
Yes.
But you see, when you allow the woman to run her account, you trust her. When you allow the man hand his account, you trust him. You know he's not reckless. You know, there are people when money enters their hand, everything speaks to them. They hear that language, buy me. So they buy the things they don't need to impress the people they don't need. Get that?
You just have a feeling that people are watching me. People would like to see me win this.
Let me kill them.
Let me kill them.
They will and then they buy those things, and at the end of the day, it's useless. You know, I asked somebody some time ago, I said, have you ever gone out and then get back home? And a few days later, call the people in the place you went and ask them, what was I doing?
Don't remember.
They won't remember.
Because it really didn't matter.
The problem in this country is too much for someone to be thinking about what you want.
When you came to their house.
When you came to their house, or when you came to their office.
They would even remember what you said, not what you did.
That's true.
Especially if there was an issue.
Very true. So
it is only when the person is vain and the person is jobless that the person will remember immediately exactly. Because you know, most times you do find
the
it
person is
difficult.
lost to things attracted to you.
Yes, there's a possibility. But you know, even as an individual, you find it difficult to remember what you were. Usually you have to consult pictures or coding. That's why we take pictures in the first place. So imagine that you don't have that luxury of going back, if you think about it, and then kill yourself over it, and you expect that the people around you, the only statement you make is at that moment. Once you leave the place, maybe for the rest of the day, we talk about it. The next morning, majority of the people forget.
True. Number 3, joint account makes breakup complicated. Just imagine a scenario whereby a couple decides to part ways. The fund in the joint account will be very messy to share. It's going to be
So now be, my salary is more than yours. Oh, you spend more money than I.
I saved more.
I saved more.
When was the last time your money came in? You that have not been collecting salary, it's going to be a very big issue. Number 4, financial argument becomes tops in the family when you have joint accounts. You see? So from time to time, I said something last week. I said I'm going to tell us 7 major problem areas in relationships, in families. 7 major. Number 1 is money, finance. Finance is a big problem. The others, I'll flog on that later. But you see, it's important to understand that if you can handle financial problems in your family, you've handled a large percentage of the problems that should have arisen from that. Number 4, or number 5 right now, the best gift you can give your partner is financial independence. So it's always right to allow your partner earn significantly and spend as at when due. It would really not make sense for your partner to need something and wait
For your approval.
aimlessly for your approval before they get that thing, as
That one
minute
thing.
as it may be, because you have a joint account. You see what I'm talking about? So it's really important we get to a point where we understand that it's no more the norm. It was a trending thing in the past where parents were proud to say, yes, this is what we have.
We control our
Finances, our resources. But right now, it's about what we can do as a family. So we can have a family account. You can have an account for your children. The wife still has her account, the husband still has his account. And at the end of the day, the vision of the family keeps moving to more of the family. And I think that's a big plus in family. Yes, it is. And you see, very important, you told me, sir, one thing we need to understand is, in this present age and time, putting finances together raises eyebrows. The minute a man comes into your life and says, can we have joint account? And the woman is financially stable, she begins to suspect you. That's why
I don't think it's an anomaly for a man to suggest it. It should have been a better thing to build a bond over a long period of time, and then both of you are able to say to yourselves,
let's do this.
how do you think we can move forward? Make sure that you've solidified your relationship. You've possibly decided to be with each other for life, and then I even put it to you and say, get along and go. But eventually separate. We go our separate ways. This is how we share. It's basically like signing a prenup. This is how we share. So certain things will not cause trouble if you eventually decide to separate, because you already had an agreement from the very beginning talking about how you were going to share. But eventually you have nothing. You see, poor people don't fight one another. Extremely poor people don't even have to fight one. For rich people, or comfortable, perceived comfortable people, fight over little money. Rarely would you see financially buoyant, independent man concerned about what his wife earns and how she spends.
Very true. Very true.
He possibly will just be giving financial advice to your wife, especially when she is.
True.
How's business? How are you doing? Alright, have you invested recently? Okay, came across one investment, I've done some. It becomes you operate, you function, you relate at the same level.
And let me say this here. If your spouse, if your partner has lost his job Okay, he has his account, you have your account, and then he lost his job or she lost her job. It's time for you to support that person. You see, there's nothing wrong with supporting the person, but it's important you understand that just setting up a family and thinking that having a joint account is one of the prerequisites or requirements for families. It's not true. In the UK, British people have made a decision that if the marriage is not up to 5 to 6 years, they will not have children. So one of the questions they ask is how old is this marriage? How old is this relationship before they can permit merging form? Sometimes it brings unity, but at other times it deadens trust, especially when your spouse is financially reckless. You know, there are some men who just get into the beer parlor and they order for everybody. I will pay. Okay. And they have no idea how much a bottle of alcohol costs in that place.
That's another relative question. You buy a bottle of Coke in a restaurant, costs 1,000 naira. You step outside the restaurant and buy from the bottle down the street and it costs you
50 naira. That's what a rude boy said in his argument. The wood will blow you, you will blow tire. People are seeing you, you are flossing, you're flushing, you're showing flashy things, but at the end of the day, when they bring the bill, you'll be so shocked.
You can join the conversation this morning. Which side do you swing? Are bank accounts good for relationships or are they worse? Do you think they have negative impact or how have you coped so far? The number to call is 08064738133. Let's talk about it. What exactly do you think? 08064738133. Send your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, and of course, you get to pick one or two calls.
So we did a statistic and we asked the male and the female. We asked the women, the average women, would you like to have a joint account? It will shock you. 78% of women said we want to have a joint account. And you know the kind of women I'm talking about?
I understand.
But 32% of men said, no, we won't have it. You see what I'm talking about? So at the end of the day, you can understand where the women are coming from, some of them. But when you have a financial independent mentality, you will really not mind. You just want to be your own. You want to keep your own.
And you say you really don't mind, or you really mind.
You really not mind joining. You get my point, right?
Yeah.
So you mind just being on your own, just being private, so that you can do what you need to do. You know, it's important we understand this. Women who are well-groomed, there are things the family needs that they won't wait for. They just do those things. Why? Because they are financially independent.
And it really doesn't matter. Or you see, there's another danger to that. When you do that, you peradventure you are married to someone who does not also worry.
Nonchalant. He doesn't appreciate, he doesn't observe.
You are on your own, you spend all the money, and you just discover that you've just been the one spending. That's why people talk about these things.
True.
And that's why, there's a lady who said, whenever she wants to buy anything, she waits for the husband. And I had really serious issues with that. I'm like, duh. Means you're going to be at a standstill for a really long time. What if it's out of town? So we wait.
Is she working?
She's working.
This is 2021.
And I had to ask her, are you okay? She said yes, she's okay.
Tell me something.
But she discovered that when she was spending, she was not spending all the money. And so she decided that, you know what? This guy, I'm not going to spend any longer. So started saving. Every time they ask for money, she says she doesn't have. Sometimes she would do the thing, pretend as if it's not done.
That's a family problem.
That's a family problem.
And there are some women also, they will do everything in the house, but they collect the money from the man to the latter.
Yeah.
I bought this, we need this. They bought it. Won't you buy Christmas clothes for the children? They bought the Christmas clothes since October.
Especially when it was cheaper.
I'm telling you, some women are very industrious. I don't want to say something else.
It's business.
They buy
It's business. They
so
do
they
business
collect
with
the money
so
from the
they do business.
They
with
buy
the
bag
man.
of rice in their boots. They don't bring it in. When the man drops the money, they bring the rice there. You know those
So they
kind
buy
of
it for
women?
way cheaper
I'm telling
than
you.
you can think. All right, there are so many sides to this story, but of course, like I said, the number is right there on the screen, 08064738133. To join the conversation today, call or SMS or WhatsApp the number you have there, 08064738133. Let me shock you with this story. There's a young lady that I know. The father is relatively rich. Built houses in highbrow areas in Lagos, and all the kids have one each. He's alive, but they all call them rent. So once you are grown, you begin to learn. When this girl was about to get married, she had exposed the husband to the fact that she is from a rich family, did I know her? So she drives a jeep, the father bought the jeep for her. And the young man was so excited. When they were going to rent a house, the guy said he should not rent, So she was like, no, at tenants. The house is empty. She said, at tenants. Just paid rent. Do you understand? And it's managed by father's wife. Not them. He just gets details. They manage everything. So they had to go rent a house. And what's girl? Kind of after you have a self-contained together. When you have the two detached duplexes and then you go to rent a self-contained, it really doesn't make sense. But then she went. And then she went after. Then I said, the guy is too big. She went back like that. Went to a bank account. Bought a smaller, still an SUV, but smaller. And she said she went to complain to daddy gave me a new car, and daddy took his car back. So the guy felt anytime he comments about something, she does it. So this time around, she put his came. Second time, the boy did not pay. She paid. So after a while, she just made up her mind. Anything that has to do with spending in the house, as mother lives there, his two sisters live with them. Anything that has to do with spending in the house, she wasn't going to spend money. He doesn't get the house own. He doesn't. You get that back.
Yeah.
So she's going out in the morning. She goes to the place very close to her house, and she buys food, puts in her son's food bowl, and he takes to school. She buys bread, the boy takes bread and tea in the morning, buys his food from the place and he takes to school. Brings him from school, he puts at the place and then they come back.
The foundation of that relationship is already failed. Because at the end of the day, you see, people get married for the
For so many different. Apparently, this young man might have gotten married simply because he wanted. It was a matter of greener pasture. If we can put the number, can we put the number on the screen there so that people get to take the number down?
So from the statistic we took, Thomas, men put up the idea of combining finances because their partner is bad. You must know the person you're getting married. You see, 18% of people, when they were asked about joint account, they felt that's too much commitment. You're committing so much and too much into that relationship, because at the end of the day, I don't know if you saw the video that was making around on social media of the young lady who practically, literally gave all she had to the guy, and he was using her credit card to take other girls out. Took a girl shopping, and the original wife came and met him and she took his what to do with money. She took his trouser, collected what he bought for the girl, took his clothes to the girls, like he went naked in the streets of London.
Naked.
She stripped him naked, took everything that belonged to her, and she
drove off. Remember that song that Beyonce sang? I can have another year, in a minute, You must know.
Yeah, that song tells
so
the whole
tells
story.
the whole story.
And you see, that's why it's important. The mentality we have into relationships matter a lot. If you think
Why
the
would
person
you go into a relationship in the first place feeling like this person is
is
your...
here to alleviate your problem, is your God, is
It's
the
not,
answer to your prayer.
you are not, are we doing palliative in relationship?
I think that's what we said on Secretary on Instagram, that marriage is not your escape with poverty. Marriage that you are married is not means that there must be divine provision from this man.
From the man.
Because by the time you put and it works vice versa.
Sure.
By the time
In
you
recent
put,
times, it's even worse. It's really
by the
worse.
time you put all your effort, all your demands, your family problems on the man, then there's going to be, and this is the reason why most ladies are not married. The little guy, they put all the problems.
And don't forget we're talking about breaking.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Hey.
But joint account, you see, some are so untrustworthy.
Imagine that you have a joint account and your wife buys a shoji of every wedding that comes and every ceremony. She just buys it.
I will inspire the car. I will make it. I'll call the bank and tell them I lost my car. They block it. Straight. Because you see that we have
joint account.
Now hear this, that we have a joint account does not mean you should buy what you want. Let's communicate about it. And that's what I said when I was preparing there. You need to have financial conversations. You see,
Even in
have
your relationship.
detailed financial discussions. And that's what I'm emphasizing here with your spouse on a frequent basis to determine what makes sense. Because what makes sense to you may not make sense to me. But when we come together and put two heads together, you see, two heads are better than one. Especially when you have two good heads, not two coconut heads.
You said that, I didn't say it. Anyway, we bring in our next guest. Somi Uranta is here with us in the studio this morning. And of course, it's Friday motivation. Just before we go into the begging story, that begging story, it's a matter that we must live in its life. Don't worry, we will definitely talk about it. We'll be back.
Oh baby girl, show my baby dele. I want to marry you, no be play. Oh baby girl, come follow me home, mama minduro. Won't fake mama do. Oh baby girl, come be my lover. I wanna care for you yet forever. Oh baby girl, you are my sugar banana, pretty nana, baby. Oh, back for me, I will sing for you. Do re mi so me. I will love you longer than the family. I will care for you more than care me. Baby, oh, back for me. I will sing for you. Do re mi so me. I will love you longer than the family. I will care for you more than care me. Baby, oh, back for me. You want to come so new. Always on my mind, baby, oh. Oh, baby, oh. Oh, baby, oh. You want to come so new. Oh, baby, oh. Oh, baby, oh. Oh, baby girl, come give me children. Whether na boys or girls, I don't care. I know they'll make a lot of sense. I can place all of my pet on me. Let me love you, sell and sell, baby. My tomato jars. You are the one I've been looking for. You are the one that makes my world so beautiful. Let me be your full baby, oh. I will sing for you. I will love you longer than I will care for you more than care me. Baby, oh. I will sing for you. I will love you longer than I will care for you more than care me. Baby, oh. You want it come so new. Always on my mind. Oh, baby, oh. Oh, baby, oh. You want it come so new. please come marry me. I wanna take you to mommy me. Take me to your family. Oh baby, oh, I beg you, I am on my knees. Oh baby girl, just take this ring. Oh yes, I'm proposing. Oh baby, oh, I love you till we gray. No, forever I will be your own. You are my heart, you have a stolen. Oh baby, oh, oh baby, oh, yeah. Oh baby, oh, oh baby, oh, oh baby, oh. When would you bless me? Lord, please let me know. I go to hello, one day girls go blow. Give me anointing, something will go flow. I go to hello, one day girls go blow. So Baba, shower your blessing, oh, 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 yeah. Show me your love, oh, yeah, yeah. So Baba, shower your blessing, oh, oh, oh. Show me your love, oh. So make you show me your love, oh. So let me know when the money goes show. Biggie Matafaro, one day girls go blow. So let me know when the money goes show. Biggie Matafaro, one day girls go blow. Yeah, yeah. Say
Welcome back. Still the bumper breakfast, and of course, Sobi Ranti joins us this morning. And first of all, I must say, happy birthday.
Thank you
Good
very
to have you. Yes, it's just about 24 hours to your birthday, but of course, I won't be able to see you physically tomorrow. So let me do happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. I'm sure you wish yourself a whole lot, and I'm sure that this time around it's all about big things.
In fact, being alive in 2020 is a great experience.
I lost my grandmother last time.
Thank you.
So she was 100 years old.
You know, one thing about me is
So being alive in 2020 must have been for a very good gift. But she died at 100, so
and we thank God she did not die of COVID, because in other places we would have said.
all of us should go into parents.
Now,
But it's the son.
I'm excited about this birthday. You see, when people add value to the lives of people, then they should be celebrated. See how our mouth looks like it. No, he's going to give us the venue for the birthday out of camera. You don't expect him to answer that in that.
Okay, so don't worry. I'll get to share the good news of how I enjoyed this birthday party sometime on Monday morning, because it's promised that there's going to be goody, you know?
Yeah, so select food.
For the like, for the like,
You know, these are, there should be social distancing. No much gathering.
which basically means it's only family members. But don't worry, we get the point. Happy birthday, sir. Really good. Happy birthday. We are proud to always have you here. Your blessing lies in you, definitely, impacting generations. Art of salesmanship is what we're talking about on Friday Motivation today. Let's go.
Thank you very much. There is a man called Sam Walton, the Walmart store chain thing. That's it, what they call the customer street. Said there is only one boss in this organization. Like this boss has the power to fire everybody from the chairman up there to the last man down the line. Like he can do that simply by spending his money somewhere else. Now, this issue of salesmanship, everybody is a salesman, whether you are in sales, in marketing, or otherwise. As a husband, you need to market yourself before your spouse. As a housewife, you need to market yourself before your husband and your children. Assuming you want to cook a particular kind of soup on the weekend, as you are entering the weekend like this. Now, you need to convince others to agree with you, other members of the family. Because our salesmanship is that you make the other person do something, you wanted that thing done, but you make that person doing it, feeling that he is the one that is doing it, evolution. Yeah. Now, it is very important that there shouldn't be resentment. Maybe you go ask someone to do something. I mean, that is not salesmanship. Maybe that is conmanship, so to say. We market ourselves every day. In fact, Sarah Boyle says nothing happens until someone sells something. Until you sell something, and when you sell, you are not even having succeeded in selling until there's a repeat of that person coming back. It is when he has come back to patronize you that you know that you have actually made a resale. Because when he comes back and he keeps coming back, his family, his friends, even his enemies will come to follow his footsteps. So, okay, this is where he gets what he's been getting. So we have to market ourselves at all times. Now, I had an experience yesterday. I went to somewhere, and around 6 o'clock in the morning, we drove to all these streets in Nigeria, where you have people, gates here and there, and I honked, made some noise for the gateman to open the gate. I honked the first time and second time, nothing happened, and I had to come down. I went to the gate, and I peeked in, I saw somebody was coming from afar. I said, Oga, are you the security man? Did he say what? He walked down, I asked again, when you go to, where are you going to? Where are you going? That street, there are offices, there are hotels, there are residential buildings, and the way he sounded, it was sounding so tough. And I wondered, the way his whole attitude was a tough. Eventually, he opened the gate, he went in. When I was coming out, I met him, I said, Oga, I now call him CSO. I say, the way you talk to me, I say how you talk to everybody. I said, look, because that as you are doing this work, you need help. And everybody that comes here is your customer. The way you serve this person is how he will remember you tomorrow. I actually gave him something, but you now say, Oga, I'm sorry. But you see, the import of the whole thing is that there is a way you treat somebody. Everybody is a customer. As you come across with the person, that's what will make the person want to come back again. And the Americans say customer is king. Yeah. To the Japanese, they say customer is not king. That's an American ideology. That to the average Japanese businessman, the customer is God, capital G-O-D. Before the Second World War, the Japanese were worshipping their gods in their Shinto shrines. But after the war, they saw the devastation that occurred. What they suffered after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Yeah. They decided to go in search of the real abode, the true abode of God. But they say their God, they've been worshipping a false God. It's not there. They went to the Shinto shrine, they couldn't find their God. They now went in search of the new abode of God, and they discovered that God lives in men. So what did they do? They moved the worship from Shinto shrine to men and started worshiping men. And when you worship God, when you enthusiastically worship God, you believe that you get blessed, and you get blessed, and you get blessed. Now, when they discover this thing, they move that worship. Instead of worshiping in shrine, they start worshiping men. And that is why, when they realize that men are gods, they begin to give man all the reverence, all the things that makes a god. Before you think of one feature in an electronic system, they've already put it there. Everything they go the extra mile to put everything they need to put there.
Just to make the man.
Just to worship the man the right way you worship God. And at the end of the day, you keep blessing them. That is why they are the second best economy and it's unshakable. And they are very few. You can imagine how they manage to do that because the customer is not just the customer. So we should have that mentality. We should be to reason like that so that when we come across to whoever we are dealing with, we'll be able to make the person feel that he's a God, he's king, and then he will bless us.
Japan by size is just about 26.5 million according to this data from about no telling from people now. Well, don't data 126,304,365 people.
It's a very small land mass.
And that's small. But they rank 11 in the list of countries. They rank 11 in the world. And they only have about 247 kilometers. The population density, the total land area is just 140,755 square miles.
They can't even produce finished cars in their place. They have to have satellite factories in other countries because they don't have space to put it. They don't have land where to plant.
And yet we have assets in every country.
Exactly the point.
Shortly after the civil war in Nigeria, in the early 70s, made in Japan used to be like made in China. I remember, I can still recall. It used to be made in Japan.
But everybody buys things Japanese.
Anything Japanese is quality.
It's quality now. They don't do the Chinese thing.
There's a people they call Ichigo, to be the best, the highest, the greatest. Ichigo.
This is something that drives me to think that whatever you think you can become, you actually can. It depends on how determined you are. Because look at the situation. You just give us a perfect example of Japan. You don't have the land. You go outside and get it. You have the wind. They didn't even have the money.
No natural resources. All they have is tsunami, which is tsunami, earthquake, yes. Nothing. You see, the greatest resources is human resources. It's not what's on the ground.
In fact, that's where I wanted to come from. You see, the fact that they have good leaders and quality people who are able to invest in the economy and see the future of the country is what makes it different. And the problem we have in most African countries is we have all the natural resources, but we cannot boast wealth.
Natural resources is not wealth. It's the human resources that is wealth. There's a joke that goes about, that goes on in the comic circle. They say that all the people of the world went to meet God. They say, look, God, look at what you gave us, just one small thing you gave us, two small things you gave us. So they look at this country, Nigeria, they have everything in commercial quantity. So they went to God. Americans were protesting, the Indians, the Chinese, and then God said, don't worry. I know I gave the Nigerians more than their fair share. Then you check out the kind of people I will do that they will not be able to maximize those things. It's still you people that will go and take it. And that's what's happening. The entire African continent is that way.
And we're impoverished.
Self-impoverishment.
Your
God over-blessed us.
I looked at something today. The World Bank is withholding about $1.5 billion in loan from Nigeria. And I asked myself, while I was reading this morning, this was actually what I was doing. We want to borrow $1.5 billion every year. Do you know that we have enough people that are rich enough to give, not loan, give Nigeria $1.5 billion in Nigeria?
During the COVID pandemic, we saw that.
People who were willing to
give
give 1.5 billion.
Some others were self-funding it.
Because you see, the point is, from the lowest level to the highest level, everybody operates from the perspective of can I get my nation?
National.
It's a share mentality.
We live
our
in a
GDP.
country where they loot what has been looted.
You get it? When I was reading what Nasir Arafai was talking about this thing while I was talking about this stuff, I was talking about GDP versus loans. Is that responsibility to ourselves? I talk about GDP. No, it's not. It's a matter they just forget. Don't even kid yourself into thinking it exists. You just talk about Japan. The GDP of Japan is in trillion. As a matter of fact, they have the 100, 1,000, the million, the billion, and trillion. $4 trillion, $872 billion, 415 million. Imagine, $4.87 trillion. That's their GDP. As at 2017.
As at 2017?
Yes, as at 2017. The growth rate as of 2017 was 1.79%.
We have a lot to learn. We have a lot to do. I think the solution to this is having the right men in constituted positions.
And that's why people keep talking about if you do your part, I do my part, I do my part. As they begin to register people for voters are preached. Do your part.
And it's also,
if you're interested in governance, join the political party.
Do you remember what Thatcher said recently on social media? I think I resonate with what she said. She said, we're so quick in blaming the president. She said, but you need to look back and trace it. The president is not the reason why your local government is failing. There are things that should be done from the local government level and then to the state level for the federal level.
No, but you see, our problem for me, before we let Mr. Owanto go, our problem for me is the fact that Nigerians look to the federal government like a father, like a baby, and looks to the father.
But that is the system we are all trying and saying we should change it.
We should change it
There's
now.
so much power concentrated at the center. Until these powers are divorced to the regions,
yes.
That is when our ingenuity is begin to. Because you think that if I work very, very well, and then the man that didn't work, that we all share the same thing. That's what killed communism. Socialism. Every man, when he did the extra mile,
He
a
should
man
benefit.
is
He should
worthy
reap
of his
wages.
You know. So if you see that if you make extra effort, you're not getting anything extra, you just leave it at that.
You definitely will. Thank you so much, Mr. Somi Owanto, for joining us this morning. You always come with some words of wisdom. And this one, I will mark it as a birthday wisdom. I will mark it as a birthday wisdom. Thank you so much. I will wish you all the best in the new year. And hopefully we pray that as Christmas is coming, I'm expecting my Christmas gift. I've actually been announcing all the gifts I want. Do you want a list? Or I should just tell you?
Don't just say it on air. Or if you want to say it on air, maybe others.
Like I told him I wanted the food. He gave me fake food and collected it back.
I'm sure he told him about it should be the 12.
No, I want an iPhone. But anything from 8 to 9 will be easy. He doesn't
Don't
want
need
it.
the 12.
No.
He was even talking about iPhone.
No, I know that I knew where it was
He
going.
knows your value. He knows your
Yes.
standard.
And I'm saying that don't even bother because I don't want to have a phone that is more expensive than my car. We need to take a break. We'll be back shortly. Yes, it's the beggy syndrome, just as we round off on the bumper breakfast. And of course, you can put up the number again, the begging syndrome, and 08064738133 is the number to call, SMS, or WhatsApp to contribute. You know why I came up with this issue?
Tell me.
A lot of people will just come to you. Every time they see you, there's a problem. Every time, there must be a problem. You can anticipate it. The worst part is the boys are becoming so irritatingly annoying. Boys used to be proud of, too proud to beg. Mm-hmm. That was the way we grew up. Boys would be too proud. Even their girlfriends would cook, at home and sneak it and bring it for them, and they would be reluctant to take the food, But in recent times, I buy him clothes. I bought him this one. The phone is using, I bought it. At the end of the day, we beat her on top of it. It is the beating that brings out the gist. He said, he complained that the phone I bought for him is not enough. Oh, he complained that the pieces of meat in the soup that I served is not enough. And I'm asking, when did we get here?
How did we get here?
How we don't have. The moment we started losing our values, we started losing our identity too as a people. But of course, when exactly did we arrive at this destination? Have you experienced it before?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I want to start by saying something interesting. It is foolishness to be okay with what is as disgusting as begging. You see,
You think it's disgusting?
it's really disgusting. Let me give you the types of begging that you will understand where I'm coming from. There are 5 kinds of beggars.
Yeah.
Number 1 is the local beggars, the ones you see on a regular basis, around your house, in your office, in church, in the marketplace, in the school. You know, those ones are the local ones. These will help you. You know, those for on the streets.
No, those ones. Some of them have a way out. Some of them have salary. That's how they pay themselves salary. You go to an eatery, you find a lady there. She just goes to the man. She targets it. Sorry, sir. I'm sorry. I need to go for an interview, and I'm stranded. I don't have enough transport fare. And you say interview, you give her money. Go back to the same restaurant tomorrow.
You meet her there with
As
that
a matter of fact,
story.
the moment she collects the money from you, she moves on to the next person, and then the next person, and then she doesn't leave. You finish eating, you leave the place, she's still there.
So that's so true. So that's local beggars.
That's
Number
local.
2 is corporate beggar.
No, this one's
This corporate beggars. Now the first one is the local ones, the ones you meet on the road, the regular poor. They sit down, they beg. You know, the corporate ones, they blame the economy, they blame the government, they blame forex, they blame dollars, and they are very constructive with their lives. They wear suits. They come to you, they say, my brother, I was on my way from Abuja, but something happened. They are always missing their container. They will come up with a very catchy story
that will catch your attention.
that will captivate you. It's either you give or you give.
The only option
They
is to
beg
give.
with determination.
And they beg with dignity.
They beg with pride. Did you see what I wrote? They beg you with pride. And when they beg you, they put you in a cocoon, in a net. When you fall in that net, you can't go nowhere.
But let me now shock you. Do you know that they don't just beg boys like that? They actually beg and then they take advantage of ladies.
No, but it's so sad. So sad.
Somebody shared a story with me when I told him he wanted to do this. He shared a story with me of a young man who does this, dresses in suit, arrives at one of the filling stations of the expressway very close to us here in Alausa. And every time he comes there, well dressed, ask me where it's coming from. Yanoba. He comes all the way here, stays in the, goes to where the big boys, they always meet sometime in the evening there, goes there, and he's talking about mingling with them. So one day, a lady came, drove a car into the place, came to service the car, and of course she stood beside them. And this young man walked up to her and started rapping out, while the rest of them that were rich owned the cars, while they were coming, while they were there. He just went to her with confidence, was the only suited one. All of them were either in native or shorts, And he started talking to the lady and all that and all that. And in a short while, he walked up to one of them and said, give me your car key. So the lady happens to be a lawyer, and he claimed that he had some documents he wanted her to vet for him and stuff. And so collected the car key of one of them and took her to the guy's house. The guy happens to be someone whose wife lives abroad. So he knows the house, he had entered them very well. Took the lady to the house, and 1 + 2 = 2 + 4 happened. From that day, he started coming earlier than she comes. So she started looking for him. And the guys, obviously, they knew he was a beggar. They borrowed in their car. The money he spends, they give to him. That is what they call Ojaluliara.
It is finished.
It is finished.
Number 3, internet beggars. This one has specialists on social media.
Internet, Instagram.
My father just died and he was killed by 16 trailers. And after dying, an aeroplane crushed his dead body. Please, I need your help. You know, they come up with some very flimsy excuse in the comment section, and you wonder.
They come to your comment section.
Oh my!
You post an important message. They go to your comment section and they post rubbish.
I think I feel these ones are just specialists. When they hear giveaway, they're excited. That's what fuels their happiness.
But most of them are so shameless that they even go to churches. They go to church live video.
But that's number 4, religious beggars. We're coming there.
Okay.
We have religious beggars. So the internet beggars specialize in social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp.
So those church ones too, who go on church live video while the church is, especially now that most churches stream,
okay,
they go on the church live feed while people are typing amen. They're typing, can you please help me? I need help.
My daughter has not eaten for 3 days.
Yes.
We have nothing to eat.
I'm telling you.
They write on unscrupulous things that are so touching that will prick the conscience of the reader.
One sent a message on Secret Diary. Remember, she said
we have so many of them.
She said she needed a job. She's an accountant. She had a OND. So I requested and said, okay, you know what? Send me your CV. You need a job. She said she used to be in a bank during the COVID-19 pandemic. She was let off as one of the casual workers. She needed a job, and I said, send me your CV. If we will beg, let's beg everybody that we know around us that can give you a job, even if it's a temporary thing, you know. And then it took her, she said her CV is with her brother. And then I said, can't you do another one? She said her brother will bring it in 2 days. And then when they brought the CV, I said, take a picture. She took a picture that looked almost like, I don't get it. And I had to ask myself, if a graduate takes a picture of her CV and sends it to me like this, then she definitely won't get a job. But then I vet the content of the CV. She had an OND from OAU.
How is it possible to have an OND from a university?
She had an OND in banking and finance from OAU.
That's crazy. Even
My school, my alma mater does not offer that
OND.
No. It's not just the OND, even the cost. If you're going to be smart, you know. If you're going to beg, be smart about it.
There are so many of them, internet beggars, social media beggars, so many unscrupulous things. You hear some begging skill and you wonder, you know, some will come to your DM and write some things that if you read through them, we are 6 in my family. My mother is a widow. My mother is about to die. She's in the hospital and nobody is dying. Now, let me state something here categorically. There are sincere people in need.
Yeah.
But you see, the begging syndrome has made it difficult for us to identify the sincere people. It's so difficult for us to identify them. And Tomisin, this is the reason why we're talking about it, so that the sincere ones can be helped. Because at times I open my Instagram and I'm so shocked. We have so many requests. The other time a lady came to me and she was like, talking on social media, and she was like, I'm sick, doctor, I need you to help me, send me money to go to the hospital. And I said, I'm in the hospital right now, come. And then she was like, no, give me money to go and treat myself. I said, no, I'm in the hospital, you come, I will attend to you right here. So begging is crazy there. But
anyway, just before we have a few minutes to go, but you see, Lola Sanusi just walked into the studio. It's been a while we had her on the Bumper Breakfast, so we really need to do this because coincidentally we had a conversation like this last year. Good morning.
Good morning, darlings. How are you?
Very well, very well.
You look splendid.
Oh my.
You know, she really loves to look splendid when she's coming on the Bumper Breakfast.
Only for Bumper Breakfast.
I'm sorry.
Tomisin,
I used to really appreciate you, but right now I think I can.
You're flushing on air.
So we'll settle it.
We'll settle it off air. But really, we're talking about begging, and I have just about 2 minutes to go. Begging. Or
the begging syndrome.
The begging syndrome. So you actually have ladies who wake up in the morning. We talked about internet beggars, religious beggars,
the corporate beggars,
the local ones too. Then we have these ones who, once you meet the lady, she has a list of things she wants.
That's not right. That's unrighteousness, actually. Unrighteousness.
The moment she just meets the man,
it's as if you treat
her phone spoils, and then she takes all her friends to go and eat.
That's complete unrighteousness. It's as if you treat God as a Father Christmas.
Oh.
In the University of Begging, there are 4 mentalities, and I came up with this. Number 1 is the opportunist mentality. That's the one you're talking about. She meets the guy, tomorrow is her birthday. Number 2 is the crap mentality. They meet the guy, they want to get everything they can get from him.
But the guys need to be educated to these facts.
Yes.
Are the guys educated?
That's
to
why
these
we're
facts?
putting it out right now.
Men need to be educated to these facts, because most of the time we are the ones who.
But what's the earliest, what's the fastest you actually get to buy a gift for a girl you just met?
It's not even wrong.
Why should you buy a gift? What is the purpose of the gift?
There
must be a reason for a gift.
It's not even wrong to
what
give.
Impressing. So that's the word you're using. You're supposed to build. Your job when you have a relationship is to build on the relationship first.
Sure.
And if anything else comes after it, then it comes from your mind, from your heart. It is not because it's demanded for. And men should be aware of this.
Well, they actually do this one, because we have to have a part 2 of this topic, really. They do this
have so
one.
much to talk about.
They have to. They do this one that means that they now want to go to have lunch with you, and then they take 5 friends along.
Men need to be educated to this fact, honestly, because the same Mills and Boone that we read growing up about how a chivalrous man, you want a man in a knight, a man in a, what do you call it, knight in a shining armor. The men didn't read the same books we read.
No, they
didn't read the same books we read. So men should be honestly educated.
And this is the reason why most women are not
As you
married.
round up in 10
That's
seconds.
not the reason.
No. Let me tell you. Lola, listen to me. This is important. Now, there's what I call prostitutious mentality.
Oh boy.
You meet a lady, and she's expecting that when we are parting ways, you must transfer.
But what is the caliber of the lady we are talking about? Are you talking to the people in your level?
I am talking about in the 21st century.
In your
I'm talking
level,
about
on your level.
No, not on my level.
I
I'm
don't
talking about what I see.
I think it's going to level. No. You stay out of your level.
Friday, 9 o'clock. Is a date with us too.
Yes.
Because we need to talk about this begging syndrome.
It's a serious
And we need
matter.
to talk about the promiscuous mentality.
And most men kind of like that kind of thing anyway.
It goes 2 ways, actually.
Some men like it.
We need to go.
In back.
We need to go.
Bye. But come back on next Friday. Thomas,
Next Friday we're definitely going to be back.
Don't forget the Lola show.
And,
that's why I came here.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
the Lola show.
Yes, the Lola show. Yes,
I know it's on.
It's on every
course.
Sunday. Yeah, you're going to be my guest on it as well. And of course, my doctor, my handsome.
Please, why exactly are you people complimenting on my show?
See, I've been in love with her for a while, and
that's it on the bumper breakfast show. I see you again. Second number.
You're number 1 anyway.
I pick you Monday morning. I see you.
Thanks, bye.
This is Lola and Dr. Precious, and I'm leaving the 2 of them.
Yes.
But I'll see
Thank
you
you very much, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. It's nice
Bye-bye.
having you. Nice having us at home with you.